on innovation, the bolder we can be, the better. The more we can break the rules, the better off we're going to be, because the world is full of ideas today. And if we don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. In fact, I'd say little startups are capturing a lot of the growth today, even in our space, even in the food and beverage space. So in many ways, in our company, we have to act as if we are a bunch of little startups. And that's what we are, a bunch of little startups. So in order to do that, we've got to allow people to be bold, write the rules any way they want, and that's what they're doing. As millennials have come into the workforce in large numbers, their expectations of companies have changed. They no longer look at it as sort of a paycheck, but they look at it as, how can I go to work and make a difference in society? So the notion of purpose is becoming a much bigger factor. The big difference is that in the past, purpose used to be some sort of a corporate social responsibility program. And typically those programs were good, people liked them, but they were at the whim or fancy of the CEO who was there. So if the CEO retired, that program got cut. So we had to weave purpose into the core business model of the company. How do you make sure that the sense of purpose can only be accomplished if you make profits? And the only way to make profits is through purpose. And that's why we use the term performance with purpose, linking both together. And I think that's what's excited millennials in particular, and what's excited the boomers to even stay longer in the workforce, because they actually feel they're contributing to the future of society as opposed to walking in, picking a paycheck and leaving. So the whole equation with employees has changed.
First, please be a lifelong student. When we are kids, we ask questions like, why is the sky blue? Why is the bird flying so high? But for some reason, as we get older, that curiosity goes away. And if we are happy with the knowledge we have, then we are actually going to atrophy. So please remain a lifelong student. Don't lose that curiosity. And the most important one, please help others rise. Greatness comes not from a position, but from helping build the future. All of us in positions of power have an obligation to pull others up. As I stand here today, I look at my responsibility not as accepting an honor. I look upon it as accepting a challenge and a responsibility, an obligation to actually make it possible for the people who are younger to come up and achieve levels of greatness so they too can be on the stage sometime in the future. So thank you again, NDTV, for this incredible honor. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
If we only had successes, what do we have to learn from? I can't tell you how many failures one has had, business-wise, personally, over my career, over my 40-year career. Sometimes I look back and say, did I just have bad luck or what happened? I look at each of those failures as a teaching or a learning experience, because I went back and I thought about, what did I do wrong that I failed? Or what was wrong with my behavior that ticked off somebody else? And when you look at each of these as teachable moments, you become better and more humble after failure. So it's how you approach the failure rather than the failure itself that makes you better.
Families are very, very important. Very important. They give you foundation, and when everything fails, you've got family. So we should never underestimate the importance of family. Whatever family means, in those days it was the definition of a family. Today, the definition of a family may be different. But we have to recreate that belonging and a sense of support in some shape or form in our communities. Second, families are messy. I don't know of a single family that doesn't have some complications. So families are messy. Families are fragile. Yeah. You don't know when your family is going to be perturbed by something. COVID upset a lot of families. In my case, it was my father's accident. Fortunately, he recovered and went back to work. But had he not, our whole history would have changed. So families are fragile. And in a family, the men and women have to be educated. And they have to have both the power of the purse. If that doesn't happen, families disintegrate.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.